Hey, welcome to the Modern Homestead. This is Bob, also known as Seed Spreader, and I may never pull an oil plug on another vehicle or piece of equipment that I own. We'll see, but today's gonna be the test. Have you ever seen one of these before? This is a fluid extractor and it's vacuum operated. This particular one runs on a hand pump, and so I looked at a couple that were hand pump, pneumatic, and then a hand pump pneumatic combination. I went with the hand pump one. Number one, because I want to do this today, and Harbor Freight had these. Number two, it had great ratings. And number three, it's really portable. I don't have to depend on air, an airline to do it. So we're gonna see how this thing works. We're gonna change the oil in two vehicles today. We're gonna do it in my son's Ford Ranger, and then in the F-150, 2012 F-150 that I have. So let's see how this thing works. If this works, man, I'm gonna dig this, never pulling an oil plug again.
What's up?
What's up with you? You stepped in front of the beam. Okay, so here we go. We've got this Holt Industries manual fluid extractor. Set that over there. We'll see how this thing looks. Looks pretty simple. Got a couple of different tubes here, and looks like you pump it like that. So we're gonna see how this thing works. Go out and change the oil in the Ranger. Okay, so let's check out how to hook these up. So first you take the bigger tube, and then you just put it right in like that, and this will release this way, and then this end you can extract manually if you've got a big oil line to go down, but otherwise you
shove her in there.
put it on there. It's not in there. Okay.
Right.
Now it's in there.
And
then you pump this thing. And then this can be used to evacuate material, so suck it out, and also dispense it. So if you had new oil in here and you were trying to put it in, you could put it in that way too. So let's go see how it works on the Ranger. What do you think?
It's cool.
Okay, we've got the motor running. It's been running for about 5 minutes just to warm it up. That'll take care of the oil inside, make sure that it's nice and viscous for us to suck up. So we'll go ahead and shut the truck off. And it's probably gonna rain here. We're gonna see how fast we can do this thing without having to lay in this and without having to pull it into the garage. So let's see how this works. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna suck out this fluid. So we're gonna pull the engine oil dipstick. Okay. And we'll probably have to use the smaller tube, the smallest one they have. So we're gonna put it down in. Feed it all the way into the bottom until we can feel it hit the bottom. We don't want it to bend in there, so we just want to... Okay, we'll see what we get here. All right. see what we get. We're blowing air into it.
It's a workout.
Alright, just let it, let's see if we're sucking it out. It is pulling out of the smallest tube, and we can see that it continues to back. So we created the vacuum. We don't have to keep pumping. We've pulled 2 quarts out. This should have between 4 and 4.5. 4.5 is where it's supposed to be. So just occasionally, we'll give it a few pumps here. And when you can feel when it goes smooth, that means you're not doing anything. Continue to pull oil. Then after we get the oil out, we'll have to change that oil filter down there. All right, so we've got our sport umbrella we're using since we didn't want to pull in the garage because we have to move stuff to get in there. And we pumped out right around 4.25 quarts. It holds 4.5. So now we're going to change this oil filter. Get it on there?
No.
Okay, so we've got the other filter off. Now Ethan is installing the new filter. Okay, we have our oil filter installed. It's a Fram Ultra Synthetic. XG3600 is the number. Now we're getting ready to put our oil in. And we want some Valvoline high mileage because this thing's got 200,000 miles on it and still runs like a dream. Thing just runs really well. So Ethan's in getting a couple of different yeah, see if this one will work, if that one fits in there. Just set that up here. Set that up here, just that one fit in there. There you go. That one looks like it should work. Now we're gonna put our oil in. And we're gonna stop at about 4 quarts and then check it. because what we don't know is we assume we got everything out of it that was in it, but we don't know that for sure. So we're going to check and see. Start it up. We're gonna start it up just to so we can pump some oil into the filter. So go ahead and start it up. Okay, now we're going to check the oil. To be. Okay, let's put it in. Let's get all the stuff cleaned up out here. I'd say that was pretty successful. Alright, we're going to write used oil on this. This is the empty one. Just on the place that I dried off over there. Let's write used oil. Now we're going to switch this from vacuum to extract, but what we're going to do is let's disconnect that. Be careful because there's oil in the line.
I got oil on my hands. There we go.
Okay, just set that on the garage floor for right now. Okay, now we're going to put that down into that hose. And now we're going to go to dispense, like that. And then we're going to start and there it comes. We're going to see just how long, given a couple pumps. Does it keep shooting it out?
Yeah, it's still coming. See right there. Look at it.
Yep. Let's see what happens when we give it the goose here. Let's see what happens when we give it the goose. Okay, that has some pressure on it now. Okay, so we're heading down. And let's see really how much is in here. And just hit it with this flashlight and see how quickly it's going back into the container there. Just sort of put it on the other side. Really getting down there, isn't it?
It's going fast.
Yeah. Well, we don't have the smallest tube on there, like when we were extracting, because that engine just is a small engine. I'm guessing we should start that. Yeah. That was perfect. All right. So what we do with this is put it back down in this hole, I think. But actually what we'll want to do is want to disconnect this, and that should okay, so we obviously have to figure out the way to do that.
Yeah.
Because there's some stuck in there, so maybe it was probably should have flipped it and sucked a little bit back in that was in the tube. So what do you think?
It's nice.
Yeah.
Way easier.
Yeah, way easier. All right, we're gonna clean this up a little bit and give you a report here at the end. Okay, so time for the second oil change. Okay, here's a straight scoop. I went out to change the oil in the Ford F-150. It's 2012. It's got about 225,000 miles on it. Been a great truck. I don't change the oil as often as I probably should. That's why I bought this. So, as you saw earlier in the video, we changed the oil in my son's Ford Ranger. Worked great. Loved it. I mean, we were just raving fans. So I went out to change oil in the F-150, and I'm not sure if I'm as big a fan or not. Still to be determined. We'll see how it works in the Jeep. I haven't changed the Jeep oil with this. Normally I just crawl under it and do it. But you'll notice on these sizes of hoses, my wife calls them catheters, and I guess that's probably sort of what they are. So I'm going to just call them catheter. So the smallest catheter, which is this one here, doesn't fit down the oil dipstick tube in the F-150 in the 5 liter. It's right through the top of the head. You're sort of familiar with where they're at. Well, I'm gonna have to investigate this a little more. Was this worth the $140 that I paid for it? Well, the reason that I purchased it is because I made a couple of assumptions. I made assumptions that, number one, changing your oil is always better than having somebody else change it for you, right? I mean, it's cheaper. You know what's going on. You have a chance to look at the oil, sort of, you know, the pulse of your engine. Two is it's better, it's cheaper. You know, that's the number one. Number two is that I would probably do it in a more regular fashion instead of, oh, well, I got to do this and crawl under and jack it up, which I just, you know, on my Jeep, I'm regular about. It's easy, you know, you don't have to jack it up. But everything else that we own, you know, and just keep in mind, I've got 4 kids. 4 kids, 4 vehicles. Yeah, they're adult, but I mean, they come here and get stuff worked on. And the youngest one's not an adult yet, technically, but the 2 youngest ones, I guess the 3 younger ones still live at home. One's at college, but she comes home. But anyways, you don't care about all that. So is it worth it? To be determined. Loved it on the Ranger. Not happy about the F-150. Got to research a bit. We'll see what it does on the Jeep. And then we've got some Subarus that we're going to give it a try on, and I'll let you know. And hopefully, you know, this is me, hopefully not taking a hit, but hopefully being the first to get it and really enjoy it. But I could be taking a hit. We'll see. But this is what I do for you. I do this for you. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, really appreciate you watching the video. Like and subscribe. I mean, seriously, just like and subscribe. That's all you got to do. I mean, it helps a fella out, right? And the Super Sucker 1000, that's the name that I've given to it. Super Sucker 1000. Really good on one. Can't use it on the other. Got to figure this out. All right. We'll catch you later. God bless you. And just keep safe out there, would you? Change your oil, too. All right. Bye.